Hello, this is Dr. Eric Westman for Adapt Your Life with a Adapt Live. Give you an update on what's been going on in my life, including a update from the low carb cruise here. A lot of fun, a lot of great education there. But also wanted to make sure you know about our upcoming Adapt events. Hey Marilu, how you doing? We have 3 upcoming Adapt events. Hey Nancy. July 13 in Chicago, July 20 in Minneapolis, and July 27 in Terre Haute. Hey Julie and Jen. So we'll be in Chicago with the Adapt team. If you're not familiar with an Adapt event, we did these in February in Nashville, Atlanta, and Tampa. And on a Saturday, you don't have to travel far. You just stay local. We connect you with local experts who are keto friendly. And there were from 200 to 300 people who came out in February for an Adapt event. Adapt and Thrive, of course, Adapt Your Life, the company I'm involved with that provides truly keto products. But these aren't sales kinds of events. They are educational events. The idea is to bring local people together, so you don't have to travel far for a keto conference. Of course, you know, there's Keto Con and Keto Fest and Low Carb USA and all those. Adapt Your Life will be in the Midwest in July, so join us. Now, it's been kind of a busy spring for me since coming back from Jakarta. This is my Indonesian dress shirt that was given to me as I was a speaker on the first low carb conference in Jakarta. I've talked about the keto warriors in some other videos, very inspirational, and the story of a father trying to figure out how to help his son with cerebral palsy. And hey, Penny, anyway, so check one of those keto warrior videos for the details of that one. It was just pretty amazing. Georgia Eid, Gary Fetke, and I were the English-speaking doctors there. But having come back, then I went up to the Lakes area low carb conference in northern Minnesota, and I just have a copy of the Gull Lake where the resort that I stayed at was, and there were over 400 people who came out on a Saturday in Brainerd, Minnesota. This was the brainchild of among other people, Dr. Jeremiah Eisenschenk. And what was very interesting there is that half of the folks were new to low carb. So there were 200 who were keto, low carb friendly, 200 who were not. And so the whole idea of doing these Adapt events, these conferences around the country, is to bring out people not only who are, friendly or already following keto, but it's, hey darling, it's also to introduce people to the concept. And the word of mouth, the grassroots change that has to happen here is happening. And that was a conference up in the Lakes area, Minnesota. Then, of course, just last week, I was with Jimmy Moore and Debbie Hubbs, who put on the low carb Keto Cruise every year. And again, it was fantastic. The cruises get better every time. Of course, there were 3.5 days of lectures when you're on the cruise, so it's not like all fun and games, although there were fun and games. This one was in the Caribbean and Florida, but just some highlights that, Jackie Eberstein, of course, kicked off the cruise with a lecture on personalizing low-carb strategies. And what I love especially is that Dr. Jeff McDaniel, Dr. Ken Berry, other physicians who have been doing this for a while have now stepped up and, hey Sue, hey Dr. Wolver, stepped up to give lectures on the cruise to help spread the word. In fact, Jeff McDaniel, in Atlanta, got his start on an Adapt event, and his Adapt video has already 100,000 views since February. It's phenomenal. It's, the mistakes I made on keto given by a doctor. So please check out the video Jeff McDaniel did, not only on the low carb cruise, but the Adapt event that he was at in Atlanta. Dr. Ken Berry was also on the low carb cruise, and the Yeah, so this is the shirt from Indonesia that was given to me by brother Tio, Mas Tio, at the first Low Carb Indonesia conference. So Ken also gave a talk on the cruise. He gave a talk at the Adapt event. Of course, he has his new republication of his book, The Lies My Doctor, Your Doctor Taught Me, or something. Yeah, I don't know that they're lies. We go back and forth, but certainly the doctors don't know about this in general. That's why it's a grassroots change. So the Low Carb Cruise was great. Of course, one of the highlights for me is to see the young people, so kids, kids my kids' age, come out and just be total full bore keto. They don't have any baggage. They don't have the old, what's your LDL level kind of concern that us older people have, because they didn't go through it. So a couple of the youngsters got up and showed how they Instagram live when they get up at 4:30 before they exercise and all this. And so there's a whole grassroots, hey Susan, good morning. There's a whole grassroots change happening among the youth, and Instagram Live is one of the places that's happening, and that's so cool to see. Also, Danny and Maura Vega, who have their fat-fueled family concept, and he spoke on being a carnivore, which is very interesting, and I think it's fine if you do it right. Anyway, so the cruise was pretty fantastic. Amy Berger gave a talk on the personal fat threshold. I talked about the vilification of Atkins, and so it's kind of the first time that video is going to be out there on YouTube pretty soon from the cruise, where I talked about my experience over the last 20 years. If you think about it, we were using flip phones when we were starting to do research on low carb. This is about the year 2000. It's now 2019, and we're not using, okay, there was someone on the cruise using a flip phone, but most everyone else was using a smartphone or other, technology has advanced in every other area of the world. Why not nutrition? And the data are all there, the science is all there, and it's becoming clearer and clearer to me that the science isn't enough. And so my focus is going to be on translating the science, getting out, bringing people out in the U.S., other places, because the grassroots change is where it's going to happen. Although an update, just a couple weeks ago, one of my colleagues at Duke is on the guideline panel at the American Diabetes Association, and so a glimmer of hope as far as up above guideline changes. They actually put in a low-carb keto diet as an approved approach for treating diabetes. So if you're at the medical level, need guidelines, or your doctor doesn't believe this, the American Diabetes Association has come on board, because I guess they use smartphones now, and they're not just using flip phones. The science and technology about nutrition and keto is advancing. Of course, Metabolic Health Summit every year is a crystal point for the latest science. And then another thing that happened just last week, yes, they asked me to give a comment about the egg fast, because apparently someone just ate eggs for a while, and I think eggs are the perfect nutritional package because you can make a chicken out of an egg. And so Jimmy Moore and I were quoted in last week's edition of Woman's World, so spread the word about that. And I think eggs, I think I temper it to 3 to 5 days of eating eggs as the egg fast is fine. That's healthy to do, and if you restrict the calories a little bit explicitly, that can jumpstart you if you're at a stall in a ad lib low carb keto program. But check out the peer-reviewed Journal of Woman's World. It's not, I know, but it's getting the word out in areas where I'm learning over and over that there is suppression. It was this talk on vilification that I gave that really kind of made me think about this more. And vilification means suppression, censorship, slander, calling out names, character assassination. All of these things have been done either explicitly or behind the scenes, either by companies or by people who don't want you to eat meat usually it's a religious or ethical reason that we think is not totally guided correctly. Hey, Marlene, I hope you're doing well in Charleston there. So a lot going on in the low-carb keto world, and so please join us in the Midwest, spread the word. The ADAPT team, Glenn Finkel and Lisa Becker, will join me and the local experts in Chicago on July 13, Minneapolis July 20, and Terre Haute in July 27. Please spread the word. Again, it's just a one-day event. You don't have to travel far to meet experts, and what's really neat is that we're connecting local interested people with keto-friendly doctors and dietitians, and they're there. Many of them are feeling even persecuted at times. But it's 2019. We're using smartphones, not flip phones. Back in the year 2000, or as Jeff McDaniel said, we're not using smoke signals anymore to communicate, and so the technology about nutrition has advanced over just in my lifetime since 2000. Hey, Connie, down 90 pounds, fantastic. It was pointed out to me that these grassroots movements in China, and I visited a public health hospital there where the director is making it a low-carb hospital. There's a public health clinic in Georgia. A team of 12 people came to the ADAPT event in Georgia, and I can see perhaps that this is going to be a public health grassroots change. And so if you're a director of a program, and you have public dollars available to do whatever you want, why not do something that saves money and improves health at the same time? Talking with a medical resident at Duke recently, this doesn't compute for the administrators. They say you can't improve health and save money at the same time. They're always looking at what does it cost to save the money or to save the health. It's always, and no, you can actually save money and improve health at the same time, because we do that funny thing by talking about food, and it's actually so powerful. So I just wanted to briefly talk about the upcoming ADAPT events and summarize some trips I had. Again, this is the shirt that was made for me and Georgia Eid and Gary Fetke at the first Low Carb Indonesia conference that was held in Jakarta earlier this year. So a lot going on in the keto, low carb keto world. Hope to see you in the Midwest, and check out, I have a new web portal for kind of putting together one-stop shopping for Dr. Westman stuff. I know there's a lot available at adaptyourlife.com. Sadly, the Heal Clinics is no longer going to be in existence, so I created drwestmanonline.com for one place you can go, and I'm going to keep the latest information there for you to, so you can find it simply. Spread the word simply, and by popular demand, yes, you can download page 4 now. It's a new updated version, and I want it to be free, and it's been free for a long time. But I also understand a lot of people don't value things that are for free. So for $9.99, I know and every dollar will go for administration and research and education for low carb keto. So don't think that I'll be getting rich on page 4. So check out the downloadable page 4, and right, it's drwestmanonline.com. The picture right there right now is actually the picture from the hotel at Low Carb Universe in Mallorca, Spain, which Hannah and Sebastian Botheus put on. Again, when a highlight of the year for me, including the low carb cruise that I just talked about. And hey, Gene, fantastic. Keto Clarity. So I have the section on the website where it has the books that I have been involved in, the New Atkins and Keto Clarity with Jimmy Moore. So anyway, lots going on. Have a wonderful day, and until the next time, bye for now.